What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Superbad here, also known as Super, and I hope you guys are enjoying Season 5 as much as I am. Now, this video is going to be my first thoughts on Season 5 after about a week of playing it. I've been able to play on the new map, I've been able to try out the new features, witness some of the new buffs, abilities, nerfs, and as well as get a little bit of gameplay with Loba. I am absolutely loving Loba. She is great. I think she's going to be one of my new mains. Definitely fits my play style, and I think I've sort of already got her down. So kind of look out for a Loba's tips and tricks video coming soon. I know there's probably a bunch that are already out by now, but I just figured I'd give my little tips on it and what I do and how I use her. But that's going to be saved for another video. In this video, I'm just going to be going over my thoughts and impressions of it and giving you guys a list of what I do like and what I don't like, and just kind of like a quick overview after about a week of playing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the things that I do like, because I don't want to bore you guys with what I don't like and want you to think I'm trying to bash the season even though it just came out, because I know a lot of this stuff is going to get fixed eventually over time, and I know there's probably going to be a few more events or updates throughout this season where they're going to try to do a little bit more balancing to kind of get everything more set in motion. So for now, we're going to be starting with the things I like. Now, the first thing I like is the new map. I think they did a great job with Kings Canyon. Skulltown being taken away is such a different meta change, because now the entire lobby is not just jumping to Kings Canyon anymore. They're all spreading out. Everyone's finding their own new places to go, and it's a little bit more fun because now there's going to be an enemy almost anywhere you're at, whereas half the lobby, dies in Skulltown as soon as they drop, and then 5-6 minutes into the game you already have about 6 squads left or 10 squads, and it just kind of puts a bummer or a letdown on some players that are looking to get their higher kill games or get their high damage games, but they can't because they can't find anybody. So I feel like that really changes up a lot of the gameplay. The lighting on it is really cool. I feel like they kind of went for a World's Edge kind of lighting in Season 3 mixed with Season 4. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but I think the lighting is pretty good. It just adds a whole new aura of like contrast and vibrance to the map, and it brings it more alive than what it was prior to the update. A lot of the new spots are pretty cool. I think the new rig area is a pretty good spot. I've had myself, in a few fights over there, and it's pretty fun. It's completely different, and everyone's still trying to get to know all the little, nooks and crannies of the map and the little secrets. I know there's one little hidden spot over where Skulltown was. You kind of saw it in the Loba trailer, but I have yet to go and get that one, so you might see that in some future gameplay. I'm not sure yet. Depends on when I'm recording or if I'm live streaming and I actually end up going to that. Now, the quests are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have already seen what the quests are. You've already read the prologue, and there's a lot of theories out there trying to figure out who the narrator is in this little Lobo War pre-meeting stuff. I've seen some people say it might be Bloodhound, who's kind of snitching on the thing. It might be Gibraltar that's, giving insight to Revenant, but nobody knows. It's definitely weird. The narrator's obviously watched a lot of the legends, so he knows a lot of the quips they say, so he's gonna be saying it to try to throw you off and make you think he's somebody or like that's already in the game that's been introduced. But it could just be a whole nother player. Who knows? We'll just have to keep going through with the quests and see what it's got to offer. Now, the one thing I don't like is that you're limited to 1 treasure pack per day. I would say maybe 1 treasure pack every couple of hours, just to keep it interesting, because there are some players that don't get to play every day or won't be able to hop on just to get that 1 treasure pack, and they really might want to like get further. They might want to get further into the lore and understand what the story being told is going to be, but they can't do that if they don't have the proper amount of treasure chests to unlock the new quest and items and all that other stuff. But that's just a little nitpicky thing. Other than that, I really love what they're doing with the quest. It keeps it a little more interesting and keeps the players playing. Now, moving on to some of the new buffs and nerfs. I know that they buffed Caustic in a way to where his gas doesn't let you walk slow in it. Teammates don't walk slow in the gas traps. And one thing I did notice is that teammates can still ping a Caustic trap as an enemy trap and destroy it. I don't know if that was still intentional or if that's just something they haven't fixed yet. But I think it's still kind of cool, if there's a gas trap blocking a doorway, your teammate can just pop it, or maybe you have a line of sight on a caustic trap, and your caustic needs his traps. You can shoot it and it'll send it straight back to him. It's just, you know, different types of play styles. You know, it gets you thinking more and what all you can do in the battle, and you just, you know, open your mind to different things you can do. Crypto, I know they buffed Crypto. You can now ping your banners, or like the little banners hanging around. It tells you how many squads they're in. I'm not all sure how that works, because I know you could look at the banner before with him and you can see how many squads are in the area, but apparently you can now ping it and let them know if there's enemies. But when I did it, it just said he was pretty much just like, hey, enemy over here, but it didn't say that there was 2 squads in the area or something. So I don't know if that's what they were trying to go for, or if it's not doing what they're supposed to, or what if it's not doing what they want it to do. But either way, I mean, I guess it works. You know, Crypto kind of needed a little bit of a buff. There's still a little bit more he could probably use to make him a little bit more better. I know there's some times where I'll use his drone from far away, and then I try to get into the fight, but my team has already wiped the squad. So if there could be like a way for him to get into the fight quicker, then that would be cool. I know you can use a Wraith portal to try like portal him into it, or Pathfinder and set down a zip line, but even then, by the time you get there, depending on how far it is, you know, your teammates could have already wiped the squad. So I feel like Crypto could have a little bit more buffs, but where it's at right now, he's doing okay. I haven't had really too much of a complaint with him. You know, I just play him every now and then casually, and you know, just do what I do with Crypto. Now, the other thing I like is the Battle Pass. They did release a lot of the cool skins. You do get 3 skins at the very start. I believe it's Revenant, Wraith, and I want to say Mirage, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong on that, just correct me in the comments. But I think those would look pretty cool. I like the whole theme of what they're going with like the fortune's favor, and you know, the riches and the golds and all the treasure. It reminds me a little bit of Uncharted, and Uncharted was one of my favorite game series on PlayStation, and I still own all of them. I still play them every now and then, just because I love the idea of treasure hunting and looking more into like the ancient artifacts and the history of different cultures and stuff. That's all interesting to me. So I feel like that's what Apex is kind of going with, is more of like the ancient artifact, you know, gold thief and all that. And it's pretty cool. It's something different, and it's more lively than Season 4, where Season 4 was more of like about Revenant. It's about death and destruction, and this one's more of kind of revenge and stealing, and I don't know how to put it, but it's pretty cool. They're doing their own unique seasons, and I really like that, and I can't wait to see what other future battle passes hold. Now, moving on to Loba. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm absolutely loving Loba. I love her playstyle. It's really cool. As you can see right here, I'm just got a little bit of gameplay in the background for her. I think you'll see a little bit more of her through the rest of this video. But yeah, her teleporting bracelet is amazing. It's so good for when you're in fights, or if you're trying to flank an enemy. One thing I will say is that if you haven't noticed already, whenever you do use her teleport, you can hear her bracelet hit or move or whatever. There's like a little chime. So if you hear that, just be wary and cautious that a Loba is near you or around you. As well as when she runs, you can hear her little, like, you can hear her heels like chingling or chiming, like there's bells on it, and that's a good indication to know when she's around. But if you can use that to your advantage and you can sneak around, and if there's gunfight, then you can just run, because it's not too subtle, or it's not too loud, but it's just subtle enough to where you won't be able to hear it if you're in a gunfight, and she can easily run around you. It's not like any other Legends where you can hear their footsteps really loud. And yeah, so I've kind of used her for a little bit of flanking here and there. Now, her black market, it's amazing. I don't know about picking just 2 items and then it being locked in for that black market until you put another one down. I think you should be able to pick 2 items and then wait a couple seconds and then go back in and then like be able to pick another 2 items. You only get like a max of 4 picks then, but it's spread out. That's just me. I think it would be kind of a little bit better, but you know, we'll see what Respawn has to do about it or say about it in the future, if there's any problems with it or if they think it's fine. To me, it's not a big deal. I just think maybe you can use a little bit more out of the black market, because say maybe you need ammo and you need a shield, a throwable, and then maybe like, I don't know, a certain attachment, and you won't be able to because you're only locked in for 2 items. But like I said, that's just me. It's completely fine how it is. One thing I have used the black market for is whenever you're in fights, you can get behind cover with your teammates and you can throw the black market down, and say you're out of ammunition or ammo, you can throw down the black market and have your team resupply on ammo from there without having to go anywhere. So that gives you a little bit of more time to stay in the fight, or might even give you just enough to finish the fight. And then you can go and actually loot the death boxes of the squad that you took out or whatever. So that's kind of one of the things I've used black market for, and it's really cool. If you can use it in a tactical sense, then you'll have much more of an advantage over the other team. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the things I don't like. Now, this is going to be a little bit quick. It's not too much, like I said, but it's just going to be going over some key points that I have realized throughout the season. Now, some of the things I don't like: the hit registration. I don't know what they did, but the hit registration got so much worse than what it was in the previous seasons. There was some cases where I was like, I think there was a Pathfinder sliding down a hill for me, and I hit him for about 7 shots, and I heard the bullets hitting the shield. I heard the clinking, but I never got damage points. I never did damage on him, and he was able to turn around and laser me with a Havoc. That was completely upsetting because it was pretty much the last 2 squads, and if we had gotten that Pathfinder down, we would have been fine. But he ended up getting me down, and my teammate wasn't able to get the 2v1. But I've also noticed that there's a lot of other people that have been complaining about hit registration, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be an update coming out for that one soon. It's just, it's a little unfair to some players who can actually hit their shots but don't get rewarded for it. So I definitely do see an update coming for that here in the future. Another thing that I really wish that they would work on would be skill-based matchmaking. I think the skill-based matchmaking is absolutely terrible. There's no reason you should be getting into lobbies with 3, 4, 5 predators, or even 2 or 3 predator squads when you're like a low level. Maybe say you're anywhere between 50 to 100. You're still kind of new to the game, or you just haven't played as much. I just think it's an unfair advantage to all the players that want to casually play, whereas they have to go against all these higher rank predators and masters and diamond players that have a much significant higher skill gap than they do. They can go through, and I remember I got matched with a full predator squad one day, and these guys had over 30,000 kills each with their characters. We got matched with them twice in a row, and we were killed by them twice in a row. It was very, very upsetting and discouraging for me, because I just wanted to play a normal public match with my 2 friends in my squad, but those 2 games back to back, we just got taken out by the same squad, and that squad was champion of both lobbies, and it's horrible. They need to get something better for skill-based matchmaking. But that's about it for my thoughts on that. If they can just work something out for that, then I think it would be a little bit more fun for players to play. Another final thing would probably be bad loot spawns. Now, I know they kind of buff some of the loot spawns, but not really. I've noticed that there's still a lot of Mozambiques and P2020s and not enough weapons for 3 people in some area. So if they could just increase the loot spawns, that'd be a little bit cool. And then for the final thing that I don't like is Mirage getting his ultimate too fast. Now, I'm completely cool with all the buffs they did for Mirage. Mirage is finally in the game. Like, he is fully a contending legend now. I just think that they give him his ultimate way too fast. It charges way, way, way too quickly. I noticed a lot of Mirage players kind of panic ult out of a lot of fights when they really shouldn't be panic ulting out of these fights. It's just more of they do it because they know they can, and they know they'll get rewarded with another ultimate here coming in like a couple minutes. I haven't really measured the time it takes for you to get it, but yeah, if they could just kind of lower the amount of time it takes for Mirage to get his ultimate, then I will be completely fine with that. That's probably the only nitpicky thing I have with him. And then as a little bonus here for you guys for making it towards the end of the video, I think what they did with Pathfinder was fine, but they should also just increase his grapple for, maybe 20-25 seconds instead of 35, and that would make all the Pathfinder mains happy. But anyways, guys, I'm running out of time here. I got some stuff to be doing here later, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.